She was the most admired girl in the village, yet haunted by a fire she couldn't explain. She wanted love, but needed many men. And just when she thought she had found peace, her darkest secret exploded in front of everyone. What really happened to Flora? This story will definitely leave you speechless. Ensure to watch till the end. In a quiet, sun-kissed town called Sabo, lived a young woman whose beauty was as breathtaking as a golden sunset. Her name was Flora, the girl every mother admired and every young man dreamed of. Her skin glowed like fresh honey under the sun, and her smile could soften even the harshest heart. Her gentle laugh floated like music through the village, making heads turn wherever she walked. Men came from near and far to seek her hand in marriage. Some brought riches, others brought poetry, all hoping for a chance with the enchanting Flora. But strangely, she always said no. Every single one was turned away, not because she didn't crave love, but because she harbored a secret so dark, she feared it would ruin her life. Behind that radiant smile and graceful walk, Flora carried a burden that had haunted her since she was 16 years old. A fire burned inside her, not the fire of ambition or desire for success, but a restlessness between her legs that refused to be quenched. It wasn't lust, not exactly. It was a deep, uncontrollable craving that ruled her body like a curse. Only two people in the world knew about it. Her best friends, Shishi and Edith. She had confided in them, weeping as she described how she felt like a prisoner in her own body. Flora didn't want to be the way she was. She had tried to fight it. She had gone for help, priests, herbalists, doctors, but nothing worked. No matter what she did, the fire always returned, stronger, hungrier. By the time she turned 25, Flora had lost count of the number of men she had been with. Some she wanted, others she paid, just to try to calm the storm inside her. The shame devoured her. At night, she would sob silently, clutching her pillow, asking the heavens why she had been cursed this way. She wanted to love, to be whole, but one man would never be enough. Her parents remained unaware. They often pressured her to marry. "Flora, you're not getting younger," they'd say. "You're so beautiful. Why do you keep turning them away?" But how could she tell them the truth? How could she explain that no man could satisfy the fire that raged within her every day? One afternoon, her life changed. As she stepped out of a quiet cafe, Flora collided with a young man. Her phone dropped. Their eyes met. Time froze. His name was Ukena. He was kind, calm, and had eyes that held stories of pain and peace. "I'm sorry," he said, gently picking up her phone. Flora's heart fluttered in a way she hadn't felt before. Not from desire, but from hope. They exchanged numbers. That night, Flora couldn't sleep. Something about Ukena stayed in her heart. In the days that followed, they met again and again. Coffee turned into dinner, dinner into long evening walks. For the first time in her life, Flora dared to dream of a future without shame. Ukena told her he loved her, and Flora believed he truly meant it. She thought maybe, just maybe, his love could heal her. But the fire didn't stop. Despite her growing feelings for Ukena, Flora found herself sneaking away, unable to resist the cravings. Each encounter filled her with shame. Each lie to Ukena tore her apart. She longed to be faithful, to be normal, but she couldn't stop. Then, one evening, Ukena knelt before her. "Flora, will you marry me?" he asked, holding out a glittering ring. Flora froze. Her heart pounded. She wanted to scream yes, but a storm of fear brewed inside her. Still, with trembling hands, she said yes. She rushed to tell her friends. She hugged her, crying tears of joy. But Edith only smiled faintly. Something dark flickered in her eyes. Edith had always lived in Flora's shadow, always the second best, the overlooked one. And now, even with Flora's curse, she was the one getting a fairy tale ending. The envy grew like poison in Edith's heart. How could Flora deserve Ukena? The same Flora who couldn't keep herself from countless men? So Edith began to plot. The wedding day arrived. Music played. Laughter echoed. The family gathered. Flora walked into the hall glowing with joy and dressed like a goddess. At the altar stood Ukena, waiting, smiling. Then it happened. The projector flickered. Guests looked up, expecting a cute montage of their love story. Instead, a video began to play. Grainy, disturbing footage. Flora, with different men, over and over again. The room went silent. Gasps, whispers, judging eyes. Flora stood frozen, her legs weak. Eukenna's smile vanished. His face was drained of color. He didn't say a word. He turned and walked out. Flora chased him, sobbing, calling his name. "Please, let me explain." But it was too late. He drove off, and Flora collapsed. Shishi rushed to her side. The crowd slowly dispersed, murmuring rumors and disgust. That night, Flora lay in bed, shattered. Her secret was out. Her future is gone. Days passed. Eukenna didn't return her calls. The once bright girl from Sabo now wore the face of grief. The betrayal, the shame, the heartbreak. It was too much to bear. And Edith? She smiled in the shadows. She had done it. She had exposed Flora. She believed that with Flora out of the way, Eukenna would be hers. But Eukenna never gave her a second glance. Not once. In fact, he avoided her entirely. Her plan had failed, at least the second part. But Flora didn't give up. Instead of drowning in shame, she sought real help. She found a specialist who finally diagnosed her condition. A rare disorder, one that explained the urges, the cravings, the fire she couldn't extinguish on her own. Through therapy, medication, and counseling, Flora slowly began to heal. She cried through every session, but she didn't stop. She wanted her life back. And then, one afternoon, a letter came. It was from Eukenna. In the letter, he wrote, "I was broken that day, but I never stopped caring. I've done some research. I now understand your condition. I wish I had known earlier. If you're still healing, if you still want us, call me." Flora trembled as she held the paper. She called the number. Eukenna answered. They talked for hours. They laughed. They cried. He told her he forgave her. And slowly, they rebuilt their love, this time on truth and support. Months later, they married quietly. And Shishi, loyal and loving, stood by her side as chief bridesmaid. As for Edith, she came to Flora, weeping with regret. "I was jealous," she confessed. "I betrayed you. I'm so sorry." Flora, ever kind, forgave her, but things were never the same. Forgiveness doesn't always mean restoration. Flora chose peace over revenge, and she finally lived a life free of shame. Now, the moral of the story. Secrets, no matter how well buried, will eventually rise. It's never a weakness to seek help. True healing begins when we stop hiding and start facing the truth. Be careful who you call a friend. Not all smiles are genuine. And remember, sometimes the most dangerous fire isn't the one outside, it's the one we carry within.